Resting in constructive rest with the knees bent and the feet flat on the mat. The arms resting away from the sides, maybe the backs of the hands in contact with the ground, and the head can be rested on a pillow if that feels better for the neck. Closing the eyes if that's comfortable, and beginning to tune in to the body and the mind. Taking your awareness now to the points of contact between the body and the ground. So the heels, the rest of the feet, the back of the pelvis, the lower back, the middle of the back, the backs of the shoulders, the arms, the hands, and the back of the head. And bringing your attention now to your belly, maybe resting the hands on your belly if that's comfortable. And feeling the breath here in the belly. Perhaps a gentle rise and fall as you breathe in and breathe out. Feeling the breath coming in and out of the body. And now allowing the arms to rest by your sides. Taking your attention now to the pelvic area. As you breathe in, arching the lower back slightly away from the ground. And as you exhale, tucking the tailbone under, pushing the lower back into the ground, feeling a tucking and the sensations of the back in contact with the mat. Breathing in, a gentle arching away from the ground. The belly rises slightly, and as you exhale, tucking and feeling the contact of the lower back in the ground. And moving a couple more times through these pelvic tilts. Maybe imagining that your pelvis is a bowl, and as you arch the lower back, the bowl of water nearly tips out, and as you exhale, the water's caught back in the bowl of the pelvis. Tuning in to the sensations in the shoulders, the head, the back of the head gently moving on the mat as you tuck and tilt. And then if you want to, so you can carry on with your tucking and your tilting, or if you want to, next time the lower back pushes into the ground, lifting the hips away from the ground and resting on the feet and the upper body, the back of the head, and coming into a bridge shape. Taking a breath here, and as you exhale, rolling back down, imagine that you are touching each vertebra one at a time as you arrive back, and breathe in, arching the lower back, and exhaling, lifting the hips away from the ground, coming into a bridge pose, and taking a breath at the top, and exhaling, rolling down the spine, tuning into the feeling in the back as it touches the mat. Breathing in and arching, and exhaling and lifting. Taking a breath at the top of bridge, and exhaling, rolling down. And then bringing the knees into the chest, either with the hands on the knees, bringing the knees into the chest, or you might want to hold behind the thighs, or you might want to use a dressing gown belt or a strap to catch hold of the knees and gently guide the knees towards the body, maybe feeling into the belly as the breath perhaps rises the belly and pushes the belly slightly into the thighs. Tuning into the sensations in the lower back and the hips here. And then very gently beginning to rock from side to side to either side of the spine. Very gently rocking from side to side, taking the gaze in the same direction as the knees. Noticing how this feels in the back. Lovely. And then coming back to centre, we're going to start to circle into our lower back. So as we breathe in, we push the knees away from the body, bringing the knees round. And as we exhale, bringing the knees back to the body. Breathing in, taking the knees away, the arms come straighter. And exhaling, bringing the knees back to the body. Tuning in to the sensations in the lower back and maybe imagining that there's a clock face on the back of the pelvis and you're landing on each number in turn. And when you've moved 3 times one way, beginning to do the same circles in the opposite direction. Breathing in, taking the knees away, and exhaling, bringing the knees back to the chest. Slowly and mindfully, and noticing the sensations in the body as you move through these circles. Good. And next time the knees come back to centre, taking the feet back down to the ground. Resting here for a couple of breaths, maybe resting the hands back on the belly. Taking a couple of diaphragmatic breaths. And then on the next exhale, bringing the right knee towards the body again, catching hold of the knee, either with the hands or maybe with a strap. Bringing the knee closer to the body with a strap, or you can hold behind the thighs, whichever feels best for you. And the left leg can either stay bent, or you can stretch out that leg and feel the heel in contact with the mat. And tuning into the sensations here in the lower back, the hip, the shoulders. Breathing smoothly and steadily. And on the next exhale, bending that left knee if it was stretched out, and breathing in and raising the right leg up towards the ceiling with the sole pointing towards the ceiling. The leg might come all the way up, or it may come some variety of places, it doesn't matter. Just bringing the leg up to wherever it's landed. And taking the toes down towards the body and feeling into the back of that right leg here. Breathing and noticing sensations in the right leg. Anywhere else you can feel this movement in your body. And then beginning to point and flex into the right ankle. Noticing how this small movement has an effect on the ankle and the foot and the rest of the leg too. Where are you feeling this? And then beginning to rotate into that ankle, maybe 3 circles one way and 3 circles the other way. Good. And then on the next exhalation, bringing that right leg back down towards the body and taking that right foot down to the ground. Taking your attention now to that right leg, tuning in to any sensations there, warmth, maybe a tingling in the feet and toes. And on the next exhalation, bringing the left leg towards the body, holding onto the knee, or using a strap to bring the knee into the body, or holding behind the thigh, wherever feels best for you. And as you next breathe in, raising the left leg, sole towards the ceiling, arms resting by your sides, taking the toes down towards the body and feeling into the back of that left leg. Breathing and tuning in. Noticing the lower back, pressing into the ground. How are the shoulders feeling? And beginning to point and flex into that left ankle a few times, feeling the sensations in the foot and the ankle and in different places on the leg, and beginning to circle now into that left ankle 3 times one way and 3 times the other way. Slow and mindful circles, tuning your attention onto the sensations in the body. And then as you next exhale, bringing that left knee down and the left foot back to the ground and taking your attention to the sensations in that left leg. Maybe warmth, tingling in the feet and the toes. Good. And we're going to now take our attention to our arms. So as you next breathe in, bringing the arms up towards the ceiling, fingers reaching up. And as you breathe in, lifting the backs of the shoulders away from the ground. And exhaling, taking the shoulders back to touch the ground. Breathing in, lifting the shoulders away. And exhaling, the shoulders are replaced back on the mat. And one more time, breathing in. And breathing out and feeling into the shoulders here. And then we're going to start turning the wrists, taking the backs of the hands to face each other. And then turning around so the palms of the hands are facing. And now the backs of the hands. And the palms of the hands, and noticing where you feel this movement in the wrists and the lower arms and the upper arms, the shoulders. Lovely. And on the next exhale, releasing the arms, bringing the arms back to rest by your sides and taking a moment to tune in to any sensations to be felt in the arms and the hands. And then we're going to move into the right arm. As you next breathe in, raising the right arm above the shoulder, and as you exhale, taking the arm behind the head, wherever it lands. The elbow could be bent as much as is comfortable, as much as it needs to. Breathing in, raising the arm up to centre. And exhaling, bringing the right arm down. And a third time, breathing in. Exhaling, taking the arm behind the head. If the shoulder doesn't like this, you can maybe take the arm out to the side as well. So doing what feels right for your shoulder. Breathing in and exhaling, bringing the arm to rest by the side. And taking your attention to the left arm now. So breathing in, raising. Exhaling, lowering, and continuing with this movement, tuning in to the sensations in the shoulders, maybe the hand. What does this movement feel like? Smooth and steady, linking it with the breath. If that feels okay, breathing in as you raise and breathing out as you lower. And then resting here for a moment. And then bringing the knees together and the ankles together and taking the arms out to the side, as far away from the body as they're comfortable being. Taking a breath in here, and then as you exhale, allowing the knees to float down towards the right as far over as they come. tuning into that feeling in the lower back, the left side of the body, the shoulders, noticing where you're feeling this, and as you exhale, taking the gaze over to the left, the head over to the left, if this feels comfortable in the neck, and breathing here, maybe feeling the belly rise and fall as you breathe in and breathe out. And on the next exhale, bringing the knees back to centre, taking a moment to maybe shuffle about a little bit to realign the spine and feel central. And then when you're ready, on the next exhale, allowing the knees to float over to the left, tuning into the sensations in the right side of the body, the right side of the waist and the shoulders. And on the next exhale, taking the gaze over to the right, if that feels okay, on the neck, and breathing here. And exhaling, bringing the knees back to the centre. Lovely. And from here we're going to roll over onto our front body. So any way that feels okay, that's available to you, rolling over onto the front body. And making the hands into a sort of pillow, taking the elbows away, the hands resting on top of each other, and the forehead resting on the hands. Feeling the sensation of the tummy pressing into the ground here. Feeling into the lower back in this very gentle back bend. And staying here if you want to. Or you can come up to rest on your forearms. Tuning into the feelings in the lower back here. And noticing how the shoulders are feeling here. If you notice any holding or tension, releasing as best you can. Feeling the backs of the feet in contact with the mats. And breathing here. Feeling the belly pressing into the ground as you breathe in. And moving away as you breathe out. And from here we're going to come up to tabletop position, so all fours, coming up to rest on the knees and the hands. The hands are directly underneath the shoulders, fingers spread widely. The knees are underneath the hips and spread as far apart as the hips, and the back is lovely and long. And then on the next breath in, arching the lower back and raising the gaze slightly. Noticing how this feels in the lower back, and as you exhale, tucking the tailbone under, the upper back moves towards the ceiling, the chin moves towards the chest, feeling into the sensations in the upper back here. As we breathe in, we arch the lower back and raise the gaze, noticing where you're feeling this in the body. Exhaling, tucking the tailbone under, chin moves down towards the chest, feeling that sensation in the upper back. And moving between these two shapes a couple more times with your breath, if that feels comfortable to link the movements with the breath. Exhaling as we come into this shape with the tucking the pelvis under, feeling the sensations of the upper back moving towards the ceiling. And breathing in as we arch the lower back. Good, and then as you come back to centre, taking the big toes together, taking the knees apart, and then moving as if you're trying to sit on your heels, and then taking the body down towards the mat, as close to the mat as it comes. Your forehead might easily come down to the mat, or it might feel like it's some distance away. You can maybe stack the fists on top of each other and rest the forehead on the fists. Or you might want to put a few blankets here to rest the head on, or cushions to rest the head here. You can stretch the arms out, or you can reach the arms back, whichever feels best for your body, your shoulders. And breathing here in child's pose, tuning into the sensations in the lower back and the shoulders. The breath moving through the belly. Lovely. And then we're going to unfold, to come to sit on the heels, sitting in a kneeling position and resting here for a moment, just getting used to this feeling, raising the head from down below on the ground.